Hi everyone, I'm needlecraft. This is flosstube number 140 and I'm here to show you what I stitched on. It's already kind of late, it's 2:30 p.m. And that is because I slept until afternoon. And yeah, but now I'm up and I'm ready to do my video and then start stitching. Today is a holiday in Germany, so there's no grocery shoppings. All the sports, or most of the sports clubs I tend to go to are closed. I can't go out shopping, stuff like that. So this means it is a day to stay home and just stitch. Technically, probably that's going to be my plan for the day. But first I'm going to do this video. I show you everything I stitched on over the last week. And as it is, or as it has been the last few videos, all the projects I stitched on will be the projects I'm going to continue stitching on next week, because I only have a few projects left where I have not yet finished my year-end goal. And on the full coverage ones of those, I stitch until I reach a specific stitch count goal, and then I move on to the next one. And the days that are left of the week, I then concentrate on my non-full coverage projects. This week, or last week, was really busy, so I did not get around to stitch on my non-full coverage pieces. But I finished my year-end goal on 2 more projects, and therefore I hope that this week I can actually get to those non-full coverage pieces, because they really need some attention to get some more progress in. I will show them at the end to show you a starting point for this week, and we'll talk about it then a little bit more. But first, let's get started with the first project I stitched on, which was Colorado Mountains by Kite. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I did do new calculations for my full coverage pieces, for how many stitches I need to do to finish my year-end goal. And I talk about that when I show those pieces. So first, Colorado Mountains by Kite. I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to with this one. This is stitched on a 25 count even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitches, needleminder from Kite Designs. And I'm really happy with where I got with this one. I bring it a little bit closer. I finished this column over here, which meant I got a page finish, and as you can see, that last page is only a partial page. But I'm going in diagonal pages on this one, so I then moved down here next. And yeah, I did finish one whole column, and I started on the next one to get my stitch count goal for September, which were 850 stitches on every project. And I managed that and then moved on to the next project. I think it took me until Thursday to actually get that done. Or maybe, yeah, I think it was Thursday. The week was super busy and I did not get around to stitching. I did a lot of my crochet projects and sewing projects, and it took a long time to get that done. I did experience a finish hangover after that page, and I couldn't move on that quickly. So yeah, it was busy, and I'm glad I got all my stitches in. So as I said, I started on this page down here, and this is where I'm going to continue with this week. I did my calculations. It is a little bit hard with those golden kites because I only have I don't have them in pattern keeper. I stitch from a paper pattern. I know generally how many stitches there are in the piece, and I know more or less how many I did. Not exactly. So I estimated the beginning of the year I need about 30,000 stitches to complete this project, and so far I have done 21,100 stitches over the whole year. Therefore, I have about 8,900 stitches left, and this project will be done. It might be less, it might be a little bit more. I'm actually not exactly sure, but I'm going with 8,900 stitches still left to do. I have 3 months left in the year, so every month I need about 3,000 stitches on this project. So every week, considering 4 weeks every month, I then need 750 stitches every week. So that's 100 less than I calculated at the beginning of September. So that's very nice. I will do 100 stitches less than I did those weeks before, and hopefully it will be a little bit faster. So yeah, that's my goal for this week, 750 stitches. That should, or for sure, will give me a column finish over here, and I will start and maybe even finish that next column as well, because those pages down here, they are partial pages as well. They are a little bit smaller than those up here. So yeah, 750 stitches on Colorado Mountains this week. And no, it won't get me a page finish, but I think it will get me close to a page finish. So next week, hopefully I will have the next page finish and moving along with this project. As I said, I want to finish it this year, and I really want to finish it this year. So yeah, we will see about that. Next project I stitched on is Norwegian Ship and the Sail, also a golden kite. This is the small edition. There is a bigger one, but for me there were enough details in the small edition already. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So this is stitched on an 18 count antique white Aida. I'm stitching 2/1 4 crosses, needleminder from Denka Designs. And yeah, this is that. I started on the next column. I needed 400 stitches every week during September. So I started, as you can see, I'm also doing diagonal pages on this one. And I started in that next column. I finished a lot already in that part of the column. Because I started with the part threads. Somewhere in the middle, I worked my way up and then started to work my way down. And with that, I finished a lot of the sky. There is a bit missing up here because that is the flag. So there is this flag, which is why there are no stitches in here. That's going to be that flag. And then down here, right above the water, this is going to be the ship over here. So that's why there aren't any stitches in there. And I did not yet get to the water stitches. So those aren't stitched as well. But I did my 400 stitches. Very happy about that. And it does look really amazing. The next, or to finish off this column, it's going to be super confetti heavy. And that's going to continue for the rest of the page because I'm now back into the ship. And the ship is always very confetti heavy. It was up here, it was especially in this page, and now this page is coming closer and entering the confetti stage as well. But I only have to finish that column and the next one, and then I will have a page finished and move back up to that page up here, which means a little bit of sky, and then I move into those next sails. But the top half of the page will remain with sky. On this one, I did my calculations as well. My year-end goal are 10,000 stitches on this project. So far, I have done about 6,700, which means 3,300 stitches are left for the year. I decided with this one, I'm trying to finish it during November, which means I have 2 months left, which means 1,650 stitches every month. About 415 stitches every week. So I need to do 15 more than I did those weeks during September. 15 more, that's fine. I know, especially in this confetti area, 15 stitches could mean about 10 different colors. But I'm still going with it. In this sky area where I had some colors with more than 200 stitches in the column, I often went above my 400 stitches that I needed. So I'm hoping that that might happen as well on the rest of this page, and then especially up in this page when I move over here, because for my year-end goal, I will finish this page and move back up into that one. So yeah, that's Norwegian ship under sail. As I said, 415 stitches this week. Looking forward to it because I know for sure it will look amazing with the flag and the ship put in. And that will happen this week. I will finish this column and start on the next one to get my 400 stitches done. 415, sorry. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to that very much. Golden Kite does an amazing job with charting their projects or their patterns, and it always turns out amazingly. At least it does for the 3 I have. On one I can't really say it. For the 2 I have. Okay, next project, next full coverage project is another Golden Kite. This is the Chimney Sweep, and this is the one where I can't really say if the shading is amazing or not, because I'm stitching it extreme cross country and I'm picking my colors so far in the top left corner, which means a lot of off-white colors. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to, and I'm just really happy with how this one turns out. Last time we talked, I was stitching on one color and I had a little bit of confetti stitches left down here. Don't know if you can see that, but then I went, when I finished that color, I went up here and I picked the next color over here, which basically is that part up here, and it's the bottom of page number 1. I'm picking my colors in page number 1. I'm going through the columns, top to bottom, left to right, picking the first symbol that's missing and stitching it over the whole design. And I'm getting closer to the bottom of page number 1, and that was the next color I picked. And then I started stitching it with that, and it is 647, which basically is a very light greenish gray. On here it looks kind of dark because so far it is the darkest color. And I did a lot in the structure of the building and a little bit over here, and the first row of pages I have finished that color, and I started on the first page of the second row with that exact color, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. I mean, look at that. You can finally more and more get to see the structure of the buildings, and I'm in love. So with this one, my year-end goal are 11,000 stitches. Oh, first, let's talk about fabric count. This is a 25 count light blue even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitch, and the needleminder is from Tenka Designs. Obviously, this is the whole width of the design, and the bottom is around here. So it is not a super big project, which is the reason I chose this one for extreme cross country. My year goal on this one are 11,000 stitches, and so far I have done 8,900, which means I still need 2,100 stitches this year. That means I decided to finish this project, or my year-end goal on this project, during October, which means I have 4 weeks to do 2,100 stitches, which means every week I need 525, which is okay. Most weeks I did or I did between 500 and 600 anyways while stitching on this one. So 525 is definitely okay. Stitching with one color means it normally is a little bit faster, especially when there are a few more symbols in an area and I don't have to count super wide. So yeah, that should work. 525 stitches every week should definitely work. So yeah, that's my new goal for the Chimney Sweep, and I'm really excited to continue with that color and doing more in the structure of this building. I'm very much looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out and what it looks like next time I show it to you. I don't think I will finish the color this week, so probably only progress in the top half of the design, and next week I then move further down into those houses and buildings and stuff. And we'll see how that turns out, if I do some more structure in there as well, or if there are just a few confetti stitches of that color. And I can pick the next one, which means I'm getting closer and closer to finishing that first page. It will take a long time until I finish that first page. The page break is around here, but also around here. So I will get a few of those darker colors, which means it will take quite some time before I actually finish that page. As I said, I pick those colors and then stitch them over the whole design. And a few of those darker ones will be more around the bottom of the design. So yeah, it will take a bit more before I finish that page. Not going to happen this year. Okay, next project I then stitched on. Oh, and by the way, that's one thing I wanted to say, because I was really behind with all my projects. I think it took me until Thursday until I finished Colorado Mountains, or I finished Colorado Mountains on Wednesday and then started on Thursday with Norwegian Ship Under Sail. I took 2 days to finish Norwegian Ship Under Sail because I just did not have a lot of time. So on Friday, I finished off Norwegian Ship Under Sail. I then moved on to stitching the Chimney Sweep, finished my weekly stitching of the Chimney Sweep on Friday. And still on Friday, I moved on to my next project and finished my weekly stitching on that project as well. This project is Mini Magic Mirror by Haven of the Zeitz, the artworks by Anne Stokes. This is going to be the finished piece, and I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So on Friday, I started late on this project. I only needed 400 stitches. And in the end, I was really looking forward to having this piece done, because stitching the 400 stitches I needed on this project meant now my year-end goal on this project is done. And I'm very happy about that, because it means it's out of my rotation for the rest of the year, or until I have finished my year-end goal on all of my projects, which will take some time. And I'm really happy with that. This is stitched on a 28 count Lugana. I'm stitching 2 over 1/10 stitch. Needleminder is from Just So Heavenly. And basically I'm stitching this in columns, page by page, and on the page in columns, going through the column from top to bottom, left to right, picking the first symbol that's missing and stitching 1 length of thread. Except for black. I'm leaving off all the black until everything else on the page is stitched, and then I just fill in with black. Yeah, and this time I was in the column in here, which is half of this mirror frame and half of the mirror itself. So I did a lot more down here in those darker colors of ring, and stitched a lot in there. And I did the last color in the in the mirror frame, did that, and now the frame is completely done except for black. And yeah, a bit more progress over here in the wing as well. And I think I got a new lowest point with the color that was missing in the frame, and I just stitched it until my thread ran out, and I get a new lowest stitch. So yay! Yeah, this is Mini Magic Mirror, and this is what it's going to look like until the beginning of next year, probably, because I'm getting closer and closer to the point where I don't think I will be able to finish all my projects before the end of the year. I'm really hoping to finish all my year-end goals until the 20th of December, because I would really like to stitch on all of my projects for 1 more day at the end of the year. I did that last year and I really enjoyed it. And especially this year, a few of my goals were finished super early on in the year. I think my first goal I finished during March. So there is a project, it's Once Upon a Fairy Tale, if you're wondering, that I have not stitched on anymore since March, and it was the beginning of March, and I really want to get back to it, especially because it's one of my favorites. So it would be really nice to finish all of my year-end goals before the 20th of December, so I can then rotate through 21st? Doesn't matter. So I can rotate through all my projects and give each of my projects one more day of stitching. That's the goal. And considering there's Christmas in between there, where I'm probably going to visit my parents, yeah, maybe I should finish even earlier. But we will see about that. There's a lot of stitching left to do, and time is running super fast and faster than I ever expected it to. So yeah, as I said, we're going to see about all of that. It would be nice. Let's move on. The last project I stitched on was Story Keep the Frog Prince, also charted by Having Enough Designs. The artwork is by Melinda Dillon. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to, and it looks really amazing. With this project, I did not stitch my weekly stitch count goal 2 weeks ago. Therefore, I had twice the amount to do last week. And that was a lot of stitching. I think more than about 1,600 stitches. That's a lot of stitching. So I started with her on Saturday, stitched on Saturday, finished the diagonal yesterday, and still had 70 stitches left. And first of all, I ran out of time. I had to prepare a few things, and second of all, I was done with this project. So this morning, I actually did the last 70 stitches, which meant I started this block up here. Until I had those 70 stitches, I did not even finish that block. I was just done. So yeah, I'm kind of glad this one has now finished its year end goal, and I can put it away for the rest of the year. Because, as I said, I'm kind of burned out on this one. But she does look absolutely stunning. She's stitched on a 32 count light blue linen. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitch. Needleminder is from Lenka Designs. And now let's bring her closer because she looks so amazing. I finished that eye, started a little bit on that the eye socket over here, and more or less finished her nose. I did more in her dress, which also looks so amazing. And then I did a lot of background, which was good because that was fast. And Sunday I did not have a lot of time, so fast background stitching was exactly what I needed. I started late on Sunday as well because sports and preparing stuff, and then I knew I did not have that much time. So I was kind of doing the calculations and was like, okay, I think next week I still have to do around 400 to 500 stitches. But as it was just background and only a few colors in each of those blocks, it was super fast. Up here, the face and the dress, that took so much time. It's so much confetti, but obviously it's worth it. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm now done with it. I can put it away for the rest of the year. Don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, she's amazing. She's so amazing. And I also can't wait to get back to her because I want to stitch more on her and her dress. But not right now. So yeah, that's Story Keep the Frog Prince. And as I said, my year-end goal is done on her as well. So she will be moved to storage as well until the year is done or until all of my year-end goals are met. And as I said, I stitched on her even this morning. So therefore, no non-full coverage progress whatsoever. But hopefully that will change this week. I only have 3 full coverage projects left to do. And I'm kind of hoping I will be able to do that until Wednesday. I will then probably take out 2 days to stitch on to work on my sewing project. My crochet project is kind of at a break right now. I first, basically a colleague of mine has crochet blankets out of granny squares from his grandma. The colleague itself is over 50, so I think his grandma is really old, and I'm not even sure if she's alive anymore. But if she is, she can't work on crochet anymore because of her hands. She can't move her hands anymore. So those granny squares are slowly fading and breaking. The threads are breaking and stuff like that. So he asked me if I will be able to repair that. And the only solution I came up with, I tried a few things. The only solution I came up with is to restitch the whole granny square and then pulling the old one out and sewing the new one in. I have already crocheted all those granny squares that have to be repaired. I think 9 or 10, something like that. But I don't want to go to that blanket and start cutting stuff out. I first want to talk to that colleague and ask him about it, if that's what he wants me to do. If anyone else has any other ideas how I can repair granny squares where the threads are breaking, please leave it in the comments. As I said, I tried a few things, but the only solution I came up with is replacing those granny squares. If you have any other idea, please leave it below. I would really appreciate that. I'm going to see him probably next Sunday. He was supposed to come yesterday, and it would be the perfect opportunity to ask him, because we're going to see each other next Sunday again, and I could have then just repaired it in a week and given them to him. Now he has to wait for another week until I can ask him, or I'm texting him, and yeah, but it's going to be complicated to text him without being able to show him. So yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. But therefore my crochet project kind of is on ice at the moment, and I only have to worry about my sewing project. Was that what I wanted to say? I kind of lost track of my thoughts. But yeah, I think that was what I wanted to say. Crochet is done for the moment, and I first have to speak to my colleague, and I then can concentrate on my sewing project. But it's a new week, and I did not finish my goal for last week, so it's piling up. Taking 3 days for my cross stitch to finish my full coverage pieces, and then taking 2 days to stitch on or to do my sewing project would therefore be kind of nice, because then there would still be 2 days left in the week, and I could spend 1 day each on my non-full coverage project. So for the moment, that's the plan. If I finish my cross stitch earlier, or I finish my cross stitch tomorrow morning and have the whole afternoon left, which might happen, I then can do a little bit of sewing already tomorrow afternoon, and so on, and maybe I don't need 2 days, and maybe just 1, something like that, and I can concentrate a little bit more on my cross stitch as well. That would be the goal, because I really need to keep going on my non-full coverage pieces as well. But let me show you my starting points for those. The first one, and the one that if I have an uneven amount of days left in the week to stitch on non-full coverage, will get more days, is Raven Queen by Mirabilia. This is going to be the finished piece. And this is technically still my travel project, but I did not travel that much, and if I did travel, I did not travel anywhere where I had the opportunity to stitch. So she's at the exact same point she was last week. This is where she's at, so there's not that much left to do, but enough. She still needs the beads up here in that part of her dress, and then all the stitching down here. Stitched on a 32 count gray linen, and I'm stitching 2 over 2 full crosses. Needleminder from Kite Designs, and yeah, so let's see. Hopefully she will get 1 or 2 days to really stitch some more on her. It's kind of fast stitching, because the dress down here is a lot of blocks of color, especially black. But it is fast stitching if I get around to do it. So I do hope to get around to do it, and hopefully even 2 days. That would be really amazing. So yeah, that is Raven Queen. And the second non-full coverage project I still have left, and where I have a ton of stitching left to do, is Cinderella Rags to Ridges. Basically, you get 2 patterns when you buy the chart. You can stitch them separately or combined. I'm stitching the combined version, but I have already finished all of Cinderella in rags last year, and now this year I'm concentrating on Cinderella in ridges. And I'm saying I'm concentrating on her, and basically I'm not doing a whole lot on her this year so far. I think only a few days, and that's it. So this is my starting point on her. As I said, Cinderella in rags is already done, as you can see. Really beautiful. I love it. So now this year I have to concentrate or stitch Cinderella in ridges. And one of my commenters, she already stitched this piece, and she called Cinderella in ridges the dress of doom. And I'm pretty sure she's right. That's a lot of dress that's still missing. So yeah, I really have to start stitching on this some more. I do have some night shifts during November, so I do hope to get some progress in then. She is stitched on a 28 count casual linen in the colorway Fog by Pictures Bliss, and the needleminder is from Denka Designs. And I cannot wait to get more progress in on her. Hopefully soon. I do hope for at least 1 day this week. 2 would be amazing. We'll see. So yeah, that's everything I have for you. If you have any other ideas how to repair a granny square crochet blanket, please leave me any comments below. If you just want to say hi, leave me comments below. I love those comments. I do answer. Sometimes it takes a while, especially this week. I did not answer any comments, I think, because it was really busy. But yeah, I'm always happy to receive any comments, likes, subscribes, whatever you want. And I do hope you enjoyed my video today, and I will see you next Monday for my next one. So yeah, bye!